I think creativity is in everything.
Crealogen Espresso, Crealogen Miniatur, Crealogen Dialog, der Podcast mit Sarah Iris Mang im Miniaturformat. Crealogen in kompakter Form, eine Espressolänge. Was bereichert den Arbeitsprozess und was kann hinderlich sein? Motivation, wie gelingt es dran zu bleiben? Einblicke in Arbeits- und Lebenswelten. Lasst uns die heutige Folge der Miniaturausgabe gemeinsam genießen. Crealogen Espresso, Crealogen Miniatur. Hello and welcome to podcast Crealogen Espresso. Crealogen is an interview podcast with inspiring people from all disciplines. We talk about innovation, creativity and improvisation. Together we discover what it takes to stay tuned, what is inspiring, what takes it to keep up with the creative process and create something new. What are obstacles? What motivates? Podcast Crealogen Espresso is the short version of podcast Crealogen Espresso. Hello and welcome, Bonnie Lee Turner. You are an artist from America. I fell immediately in love with your large murals a few years ago. And now I want you to briefly introduce yourself. Tell us about your professional career, what you do for a living, your hobbies, how old you are, where do you exactly live in America, and so on.
All right. Well, I'm a professional artist, visual artist. I've been a professional artist for 30 plus years, and I specialize, as you mentioned, in murals, mosaics, portraits, and other forms of art like mixed media. I'm always experimenting. And my birthday is right around the corner, actually. I'm probably going to have a hard time saying this, but I'm going to be 60. 60. Buddy. Oh, okay. Now that I've said that, I can catch my breath again. So my hobbies, I enjoy the outdoors. I enjoy traveling, and I enjoy meeting people. So this is perfect because right now I'm doing an artist residency in Horb, Germany. So I'm just ecstatic. I live in Rhode Island, which is in the northeast of the United States, part of New England, which is 6 different states that form New England. And Rhode Island is the smallest state in the whole union. And I think it's like an hour across the whole state to let you know how small my state is.
What does creativity mean to you personally and as well in a professional context?
Well, I think creativity is in everything, all of the time. I mean, if you look at the bloom of a flower or a wave rising up from the sea, or sometimes I'll look at shadows that the trees create, whether it's on the ground or on the side of a building, and I'm mesmerized. So I think creativity is in the universe, and we're just part of it. We as people, as humans, are part of that creativity. As a professional artist, my creativity is, I'm being paid to reach a goal of whoever my client is. So as wonderful as that sounds and as creative as I can be, it's sometimes I feel as though I'm more creative personally. Does that make any sense? Because I can just create, whereas for a client professionally, I'm generally trying to reach their goal.
I can follow you, and I suppose the listeners as well.
Oh, okay, great. I wasn't sure if that was making any sense.
Now you have to choose or not to choose, I don't know. Creativity, innovation, and improvisation. What is your favorite?
Okay. Well, I would have to say that I would think that without creativity, you wouldn't have innovation or improvisation. So I think creativity is the mother of both innovation and improvisation. And I probably am excited to consider myself an innovative artist, an innovative creative. And you find that in doing that, you're often improvising because you never know what's going to come up when you're on a project and what you need to do to navigate. And so I don't know if I'm really making any sense. I guess all of them, but I would say creativity is the lead. Oh my goodness, did I just talk around in circles?
No, this was quite inspiring for me. But now we will change the topic a little bit. How do you deal with obstacles, Bonnie?
They say that a tree that doesn't bend with the wind will break. So what I do when I'm coming against obstacles is generally I just throw myself on the floor and I flip out and I scream like a little child. I'm only kidding. Actually, to be honest, when I was younger, I used to let things just take away my joy and just overpower me, and I would think about them and worry about them and be concerned, like the concerns of the world. And then I remember hearing a voice when everything would eventually work out, and that voice would say, "Oh, ye of little faith." And I realized as I'm older that I can't let these things bother me, that somehow it always works out. The universe, God will work it out. So I just relax and I say, no one's going to steal my joy. No one's going to steal my love or my love of creativity. And I just will be at peace, which is something that I've learned, and it took me a long time to learn.
So inspiring. Thank you. What motivates you and inspires you?
Well, I would say that traveling, seeing new things, meeting new people, that's very inspiring to me. It's just living its life. It's just all that's around me. It could be taking a walk in nature. It can be taking a walk down the street. It's just my visuals are just open when I'm out. Doesn't even make any sense. We'll have to say that one over again. I'm sorry. When I am out, I tend to notice things like this project that I described, that you had read about, where I'm doing my public art project as resident artist. I'm placing little things around for people to find and see. But I think a lot of people don't notice. They just walk through life and they don't notice their surroundings. They're not inspired by the beauty or by something surprising. They're just going about their business. And that's something that I don't do. I am just inspired by everything around me.
Bonnie, the very last question. The name of this podcast is Crealogen Espresso. Do you like coffee espresso or do you prefer other drinks?
Well, when we were at 11 doing our residency, I had found what I thought was a small coffee pot. And so I was making coffee. I like nice, strong black coffee. So I was making coffee in this coffee pot every day and drinking a nice big cup. And one day, another artist who was from Italy came in the room, and I said, "Would you like some coffee?" And he poured a very little bit in a tiny cup. And I said, "Oh, no, you can have a bigger cup." And he looked at me in shock and said, "You cannot drink that much. This is espresso. You will have a heart attack." I just thought it was strong coffee. I was drinking like a crazy amount of espresso. Well, from that day on, I understood why I was so hyper, and I slowed it down. But I do love espresso, and here in Germany, I do love beer.
So I say Prost and thank you for the interview, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
Crealogen, schön, dass du heute dabei warst. Wenn dir der Podcast gefallen hat, dann teile ihn gerne mit Freunden. Über positive Bewertungen würde ich mich sehr freuen. Du hast spannende Ideen, Anregungen und Impulse? Schreib mir doch auf Instagram oder direkt an crealogen@saramang.at.